The Hell Dimension. There are apparently only 8 dimensions in the 4% universe. We humans are entitled to explore as long as we are under Lucifer's command. However, there is a sealed-off part of one of the dimensions that he has created for a specific purpose, something that I heard from the horse's mouth. Anton Parks brings it up too in his research on the Anunnaki. The Orion group has created what they seem to call a Hell Dimension. I hope this is only a scare tactic and that it doesn't exist, and I have waited until now with talking about it, going back and forth whether I should mention it at all. Then I thought, why would I start keeping information from people now, when I have revealed all this other stuff? I know it's not pleasant, but none of it is, and after all, it's always better to know than to live in oblivion. Figure 11. The dimensions according to Anton Parks. The Angel is equivalent to the KHAA, the Void, and KURMUGI is the Hell Dimension. Those who want to see Anton Parks' description of the Hell Dimension can go to the website created by the Zeitlin couple, who are good friends with Parks and have translated parts of his work from French to English on their site. Here is the page describing the different dimensions, and check out the KURMUGI dimension in particular, http://www.zeitlin.net/enchantment/secret2.html #dimensions. The reader can probably imagine that I've been under attack since I started writing my papers, especially so since I started writing level 2 and all the way up to present. It has come in waves, and I can see that certain papers are more sensitive than others and have most certainly bothered and annoyed particular people in power. The worst attack I had, though, was in Dream State, where I was shown the Hell Dimension and what it actually is. It has nothing to do with eternal fire. Let me explain by telling you about my dream. The dream started with that I was on the ship that was used in the Philadelphia Experiment 17. People started getting stuck in the walls and on the floor and became one with the ship. Everybody was screaming in fear and terror and running in all directions, trying to get away from this nightmare. I was running in one direction together with 3 or 4 other people. I didn't recognize any of the faces in the dream. Then everything went dark for what I perceived a long time. There was nothing besides darkness. My body was gone and it was only me left, the sole avatar. Then, all of a sudden it got a little lighter, but still quite dim. I couldn't see any details. The next thing I know, my soul, bumped into some kind of black box on the floor, bounced one time and landed on the floor beside the box. Again, it was only me without a physical body. I had no particular feelings at the time, except confusion. I didn't know where I was. I did what I could, trying to orientate myself and floated up in midair. Then I noticed that I apparently was in a room of some sort, and it was dark, like I said, but dim enough for me to be able to see the walls. So I was apparently in what looked like some kind of room, about 5 feet 2. I thought, okay, at least I am alive. Let's see where the door or the opening is. I floated around in that little space trying to find the door or way out, but couldn't find any. I was trapped in a 5 feet 2 space with nowhere to go. I was thinking that due to that I was in spirit form, I could maybe float through the walls, but I just bounced. That's when I started feeling desperate. I sat still for a while, listening, but it was extremely quiet, the quietest place I've ever been in. There seemed to be no one around. I started shouting, "Hello?" But of course I didn't have a voice like a body does, so it was more like a telepathic thought that I transmitted. No answer. That's when I totally realized that I was trapped and there was no one around, and no one was going to come and let me out. For a second I thought, they have to come and give me food soon. But I realized that souls need no food. The last thought I had was a devastating one. Oh no. I am trapped here forever. They can keep me here for an eternity, and I can't even die. It's the ultimate trap. And the worst thing is, I have no idea where I am. Am I on Earth? Another planet? Where? I remember I was totally desperate and terrified. Then I woke up, shipping for air. The next morning, before my wife woke up so I could tell her about the dream, I told a friend of mine about it. That's when I realized what this was all about. The Syrians had visited me in dream state and threw my soul into their hell dimension, so I could see how it is. And I also then remembered a quick thought I had in my dream: if you don't stop, this is what's waiting. Then I had little doubt that they had actually showed me hell, and that's where they want to put me unless I stop writing. It was quite a hard decision to know what to do next, but I decided that I am not going to let them stop me. If what they threatened me with is actually true, and it was pretty true while I was dreaming it, and that's what they are planning for me, it's not a pleasant thought, but this is so much bigger than and if this information is not coming out now, no one else is going to do it, either. At least not anytime soon, and then it may be too late. I know that this will scare a few readers, and I am sorry about that. It's not my intention, but this is what happened to me. Will it happen to you? I doubt it. It may not happen to me either, but was just a threat to stop me from continuing. The solution is still to evolve like we have talked about. When we leave our bodies, we know who we are and we vibrate on a much higher level than they do. Put a bubble around you when you leave this world and let no one come inside that bubble, no matter what. Then, if you have decided what to do, do it and let nothing distract you. More about exit plans in the last paper. I want to end this paper on a good note. While I was writing the Lucifer section of this paper, a Pleiadian newsletter came in the mail. They said they are very excited, because mankind has managed to energize the timeline where we evolve without technology. They told us in the letter that what they have come here to accomplish has been accomplished by us. What this means is that enough people have raised their frequency enough to change the positive timeline from a potential timeline to a real timeline. Enough energy is put towards creating this new reality that it is actually going to happen. If this is true, and I really believe it is, because I can feel it in my heart. It's the best news we've received in years and years. We have done the right thing and now we just have to follow through and continue doing what we're doing, and we can eventually achieve our goal to live in a world free from oppression and Syrian presence. Congratulations. The Pleiadians continued by saying that they will still be here long after the nanosecond and communicate through Barbara Marciniak as long as she is strong enough to hold their energy. Only age and sickness can stop her from doing that, and she is after all 65 years old. This Pleiadian renegade group wants to be here and guide us and answer our questions in order to help us rebuild a new society. However, as always, they tell us that we are the ones who have to do it. They are just here to observe and give advice when asked for. The next, and the very last paper, will be exactly about what the Pleiadians talk about in the above paragraphs, the evolution without technology. I'll see you there.